Let's count how many adjustments some climbers made for the first 12 moves of the route. You might be thinking, ooh, these pro climbers are adjusting their hands so often. Surely it's not that bad of a thing, right? Yeah, forget about your silent hand drills. If even the top climbers are adjusting so often, why shouldn't we? Well, let's not be hasty. First we ask the question, why are we adjusting our hand? If you haven't even thought about an answer, and you are just mindlessly bumping the same part of the hole with the same grip type, having no reason is a bad reason for adjustments. If instead you answer, I grabbed the hole wrong and I'm adjusting to get a better grip by... You have to first answer the follow-up question. Why did you grab the hole wrong? If the best part of the hole is obvious from the ground, and the move is slow enough so you have enough time to aim, then I didn't grab the hold right is not a good reason for adjustments. You had enough time to grab where you knew the hold was best. If your view is obstructed, or if the move was too aggressive and fast, you now have a semi-good reason to allow yourself 1 or 2 hand adjustments. But even then, you should still be thinking about other ways to solve the problems. Even if the hold was blocked, could you make use of some visual and mental cues to increase the chance of latching it accurately? If the move is too fast, can you think of ideas to slow down the move? If you have the third answer, I grabbed the hole exactly as visualized, but it still does not feel great. This is a semi-decent reason for hand adjustments. Sometimes how you envision the holes to feel might not line up with the actual experience on the wall, especially in competitions where these climbers are constantly exposed to new, never felt before holds. Using a few adjustments to confirm where the best part is a reasonable thing to do. However, if you are familiar with the hold and you are grabbing the best part, adjustments are unnecessary and are only gonna wear you down. With a small exception, using adjustments to change your grip type, if done properly, takes up almost no energy at all. It's not a bad idea to grab the hold with the desired grip type from the start. Even more specifically, adjustments on slopers will almost always make it worse. Even knowing all these things about preventing adjustments, you are still going to be catching holds wrong. Moving past prevention, there are different ways of adjusting your hands, and some ways are better than others. Adjustments are like mini climbing moves themselves, and they have beta too. One way is to use the same arm to generate momentum. This is not the most desirable. It is placing more force through the hand that is already not in the best holding position, and it makes timing trickier too. The opposite way is loading the other hand to generate. It can completely free up weight on your adjustment hand to make the adjustment comfortably. My preferred way is using the hips. Generate slightly in a direction where it frees weight from the adjustment hand, normally inwards/upwards, and time the feeling of weightlessness with the adjustment. Like with any other climbing move, make sure you are generating sufficiently, but also be careful that you are not over-generating. Let me condense what we have gone through so far. Going to hold A from position A, first we plan. Identify and choose the best part to hold A. If you don't know where that is, make a guess. Then check the following. From position A, do you have a clear visual of hold A? If not, find reference points to guide your hand placement. Does your beta involve a fast and risky move? Consider micro adjustments to your beta to slow down the move. Now that you have planned, go for it. If you grab the best part of the hold with the desired grip type, congrats, carry on. If you grab the best part of the hold but want to change your grip type, make a small and intentional adjustment. To change grip types, it is very easy to overgenerate, which saps away unnecessarily adds your energy. If you failed to grab the best part of the hold, adjust but mindfully. For a start, you can maintain eye contact on the part of the hold that you want to adjust to. Use your hips and with just enough well-directed momentum. The last aspect is about performance. Unnecessary adjustments don't happen for no reason, and bad habits don't develop out of nothing. It's often because, even with grabbing the right parts of the hold with the right grip type, if it still feels like shit, you are going to want to adjust, hoping that the 6mm will magically turn into a jug and it will feel better. You have to catch yourself in these moments and tell yourself to stop adjusting and try harder. Another reason might be if you don't have enough intention in your movements. You are used to grabbing holds wrong and then adjusting to the right parts after, instead of just grabbing it right first go. For this, the glue hands drill might be a valuable thing to include in your sessions. Prevent adjustments with adequate planning and intention. Make every adjustment intentional, efficient, and necessary. Thank you for still being here. Before we wrap up, I want to share some really valuable and interesting insights I learned from another episode of the TestPiece podcast. The first is about rest. Something commonly overlooked about rest is that it always takes sacrifice. It's not just about relaxing on holds. The key to a good rest is understanding what you are sacrificing and what you are getting in return. If you are just resting for a feeling, chances are the rest isn't going to be very productive.
Because you start to learn like what you are actually sacrificing. If you're going to sacrifice the next 20 moves and that's all going to be half crimping and like, big dead point movements, don't hang in a half crimp, period. Like, don't do that. That's going to be the exact thing you're sacrificing for the movements that you're doing afterwards. So sacrifice something completely different. And if you cannot, maybe it's not a good rest. Maybe the rest is better locked off in the next movements on a 3-finger drag while you're shaking out for 10 seconds on one hand. Maybe that's a better rest than a 45-second rest that you're doing somewhere. I knew pretty much exactly how much time I was resting, by the way.
In line with the topic of resting, they talked about relaxation. This was quite eye-opening to me. It turns out most of us don't actually know how much we can relax in a given position, and it's something you have to actively practice.
People probably don't know, and just check this yourself, you probably don't know how much you can relax in a position. Even in the most standard position in a jug hang, try to relax more and more. This is something we practice as team kids, and I know, I watch people all the time, and I'll tell somebody to relax on a jug, I'm like, okay, more, and you're always getting lower and lower, you're letting go of the holds more and more, you're sinking more into your feet, you're turning more into the position that you actually want, and you're like, whoa, I was spending maybe 60% more than I should have for a relaxed position. So teach yourself how to relax on the...
Just as it is crucial to be able to try your absolute hardest when needed, it is equally valuable to minimize what you are spending on easier moves. That way, you have got more in the tank mentally and physically for those hard moves. The podcast is littered with valuable nuggets of advice, and I encourage all of you to give it a listen. But to pick the most important one is the concept of having 3 North Stars guide your sessions. For many of us, finding time to climb can be tough, especially when life gets busy. To maintain the quality of your sessions, pick 3 North Stars, 1 a year away, 1 a month away, and 1 a week away. For your 1-year North Star, these are your big foundational improvements. Think of things like improving overall flexibility, like hip mobility, or turning your project grade into your flash grade. These are the things that take time to build, but having them in the back of your mind will help you chip at them little by little, session by session. For the 1-month North Star, this is where you can target your more specific weaknesses. Maybe you're relying too much on 3-finger drags, or you want to strengthen a particular style of climbing. This can also be preparation for rock trips. Example, more moonboard sessions to get used to those sharp edges, or if you're going Fontainebleau, more slopers and tiny footholds. For the 1-week North Star, these are the little things you can improve every week, the small habits that can really transform your climbing.
The 1-week North Star are the little habits you've been trying to remember and perfect. Breath work, more overhang, less foot cuts, like those types of things. Pacing, like those are things that you can do that day. That next week, you can see those habits kind of grow over time.
So even if you get less climbing time than you anticipated, or you find yourself a bit lost from the other responsibilities in life, when you let these stars guide your climbing sessions, you can make so much more out of those valuable focused sessions. So pick your 3 North Stars thoughtfully, let them guide you, and trust that consistent small steps in the right direction lead to big changes. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you want, I'm really interested in hearing what your 3 North Stars are. Share them in the comments and I will be sharing mine too. If you're enjoying the content, consider clicking join to support the channel. I don't have many perks to offer, but your support helps me keep creating. No pressure, just having you here means a lot. Thank you.